You know, fear is a tormenting thing. The Bible said fear has torment. And then it says that we can't be perfected with fear. But as a child, I never will forget, I'll tell you some of my fears. I would cry at the window. Mama would come to me and I'd say, "Mommy, devil's standing outside the window." She said, "Russell, the devil ain't standing outside that window." I said, "Oh, yes, he is too. And his two horns. His two horns." And I could see the devil's two horns out that window. The next night would come and I'd start crying. Mama would come to my bed and she'd say, "Son, what's wrong?" And I said, "The devil's standing outside my window." She said, "Where, Russell?" I said, "Look, right outside my window, there's the devil." And she said, "There ain't no devil outside that window." I said, "I know the devil's out there because I see his two horns." And so that went on, and the next day, when I did it again, Mama took me outside and she said, "Russell, what you're seeing is a locust tree. And that ain't no devil looking through that window." And I just thought for sure I had that old boy right outside my window about to jump in there and get me. And I'd go to bed and I'd run dive under the cover, and all you'd see is my eyes looking out that cover. Because I didn't want the devil. I called him the devil. I said, "The devil's right over there, Mama." And she'd say, "Where, Russell?" I said, "At the window. And his two horns is out there." And fear has torment. Fear is something that rages in your soul where you can't be a personality like you want to be. And all the time and the way long, people had fear of death and fear of the beyond. And we still do to some extent. But Jesus opened up that way and that door through the resurrection, that we can overcome fear and we can be strong. And I remember, some of you don't remember, but Adolf Hitler, when he was in his prime and the army was marching as they did across Finland and Poland and all those places, and he perfected a U-2 rocket that would go into England, and he'd send 4 of them every day to England. And the streets were filled with rubble and filled with houses, and the hospitals was overrun with people. And England, the people's hearts got so that they were so fearful that they lived in basements. They wouldn't hardly come out. And one of the greatest statesmen that ever lived was Winston Churchill. And Winston Churchill came on national television and he said, "The thing that we have got to be careful to believe is to get fear in our hearts. Our greatest enemy is not Adolf Hitler and these bombs that's coming in every afternoon." He said, "Fear is our enemy. And when you get fear, you can't do nothing." And so he strengthened his nation by that great speech that he made, so that they dug out of the rubble. They dug out of fear. And fear is something that will grip your heart and your soul. And I don't know about you all, but does your kids come jump in bed with you when a storm comes? Do you little ones, do your feet pitter-patter across that floor, boy, and you die? I did. I did. It'd go bloom, 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 and boy, Mama would look up, and I was on one side of her, and my brother Rupert was on the other side. She'd say, "Son, what's the matter? You don't have to fear." I said, "Mama, but it thundered. It's coming a storm." And I know we had a storm one time, and Vicki and Patty was home, and we had a storm come, and one of us looked out the window and said, "Here comes a storm." And I looked around, and Patty was in the tub, and Vicki was in the tub, and they had pillows over their head looking out from under them pillows. And we didn't know, but they say that's one of the safest places you can get if you don't have a basement. But I like what Jesus said. He said, little flock, fear not, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. And there is a fear that is good, and that is to fear God. Fear God. Because every one of us is going to face God. Every one of us is going out into the depth or the light of death. And we're going to have to face it for ourselves. Nobody's going to face it for you. You're going to have to stand there yourself. You're going to have to breathe that last breath yourself. And among all my readings and among all my studies, there's still a little fear to death. I don't know how I'm going to take my last breath, but I do fear. I fear God. And I know that He is the great resurrection. The resurrection and the power. And someday we'll all see Him. And I thank God that I have overcome my fear. And you have overcome your fear. And even though through Jesus Christ we have hope, and we're looking for that great day to see Him and to stand before Him, I thank God that we have overcome through Jesus. May the Lord